Hello, my name is Ben Alexander, and I have autism. So if you want to learn more about me, please subscribe, hit the YouTube notifications button so you don't miss any of my videos, and while you're at it, please click the thumbs up button and like this video. Also, if you have any other video ideas or any ways I can improve this content for you, please let me know down in the comments section below as well. I try to get as many as I possibly can. And I also upload a video each week on my channel, so I'm pretty active, and I hope that I can give you something that you enjoy and I enjoy producing and making for you. So yeah. Alrighty, so today we're going to tell you about my driving experience. I know you clicked on the video and you were interested about driving with autism. You probably have had questions. You're like, well, can I drive with autism? How do I deal with this? And my thinking is basically you can, because I have survived driving autism, and I've drove with autism for a long while. I got my license in 2019, and now it's 2024 at the time of the making of this video. So I've definitely have driven a long time, so that's a good sign. And I got to begin, I was a 16-year-old kid, and the services I got, because I had special services with the Union County Board of Developmental Disabilities. I'm from Marysville, Ohio, Union County. So they had like a board that they created for me, and it was awesome. They did a great job. They've helped me a lot. So they took me to this guy that specializes in teaching people how to drive. And it's not what you think. It's not behind the wheel first off. But it's got this barn place with a lawn open, like country fields or whatever. And we drive lots of different go-karts and golf carts and even four-wheelers. Like, I think it's a Honda Pioneer. I think that's the four-wheeler that I really enjoy driving, because you could get that thing really fast, and it was fun to drive. So yeah, and it really did help me grow confidence and my ability to drive, and at least be like, hey, if I can drive this car, then if I could drive these vehicles, and I can drive a car no problem. And it worked out really well, because there were some go-karts that were like really hard to steer, and that's just the way it was. And when I got behind a car, it was like, man, this is so much better steering. Like, it's crazy just to see how much something so little like steering can make a difference. And I also want to tell you of an experience that you can learn from, and try not to make the same mistake as I did. So, one session, I got into a golf cart, or it was supposed to teach you how to like control yourself while you're steering or whatever, and I just wasn't ready for the smoke. Just wasn't a good situation. I tried my best to make it work, but it just, it was one of those things that, and it was a weird car too, because somehow my shoelaces got caught in an L-shaped brake, and it is extremely weird. Like, it was literally an L-shaped brake, and I'm like, what is this? It was like, it probably was one of the strangest cars that I've ever driven. And guess what? I lost control of the vehicle. I was like, it's like not having control, being a young driver, and not having your brake. I got super scared. I'm like, what do I do? And there were cars, because I was with another student. So I ran into another student's parents' Jeep Wrangler's front tire of a Jeep Wrangler. So basically, I ran into a front tire of a Jeep Wrangler of my friend's parents. And that was not fun. So basically, from that moment on, we went to the hospital. We were in, I think it was about 15 or 20 minutes away, the place was. My mom drove really fast for 15 to 20 minutes because she's like, who's the president of the United States? And at the time, it was President Donald Trump. So I said Donald Trump. And she rushed me to the hospital, urgent care. They took me in. I had a neck brace and I was out and down for my count. And this happened during my sophomore year of high school. And it was at the end of the school year, oddly enough. So I got out of a lot of my finals, which is like, I guess that was a little bit of the blessing about it. But at the same time, it was just not fun. I'd have rather taken the finals versus go through that because I was in a neck brace for months. And I was trying out for the golf team at my high school because I golfed. And unfortunately, with that injury, it set me back and I couldn't golf. And I was very close to making the golf team, and then I got cut. So that just a little bit stunk. But oh well, it's in the past, you just move on from it. It gave me an opportunity to be on the bowling team too, because I did 1 year of golfing, 1 year of bowling in high school, and I was a sports manager filming sporting events for the rest of it. So yeah, I think that was kind of a lesson to take from this is just to be careful on the road and just let your foot off the gas if you're in that situation. And I think that's something I wish I would have known, is just let the foot off the gas. And I did not know that, because in my mind, gas means go, 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 instead of not letting go. And because I thought the brake, you had to stop from your brake only, and then just letting off the gas pedal actually will slowly, gradually stop. And if I would have known that, I'd have never gotten in an accident. But, it's kind of the inexperienced thing, and I learned a lot from that. So, not had an accident ever since that, so it's been a blessing. So, yeah. Let's see. And I did come back to that place, and everything was fine. And then, after that, and, man, my memory's kind of foggy, because I got a mild concussion from that. And I feel like my memory's taken a hit from that a little bit. Like, I don't remember things as sharply as I used to before the concussion. So I was like, ooh, not very good. Obviously, concussions are not good. So yeah, especially the memory. I can't remember if I did both of my services at the same time, but they added another service because I got my permit. When I got my permit, it allowed another guy to teach me the driving test. So I was in there working with him, trying to get me to do the driving test, and I passed the driving test. I was 19 years old when I passed for the driving test, so I was very relieved. It was just a couple months outside of graduating high school, so I was very happy about that. And yeah, I mean, it was definitely a good thing, for sure. And then I temporarily stopped services with him because I was like, well, I got my license. I mean, because with my services, there has to be a reason to have the service. And once that reason's gone, then the service is gone. So if there's no reason that is approved by the state, because there's a thing called OOD, which is Ohio Opportunities at Disability or something like that. It's OOD. You got a service consultant over there making sure that everything's good. So yeah, and unfortunately after that, I left because I already did what I was supposed to, was get my driver's license. And then the problem is I never brought a car up to Mount Vernon Nazarene University, which is the college I went to for 4 years, and it worked out perfectly fine. Like I said, I'm not mad or anything, but it definitely did hurt my driving a little bit, because there'd be like months where I wouldn't drive, and I just, yeah, I mean, it was like that. So that kind of hurt my development too. And then obviously my parents are busy; they got jobs too, so it was kind of hard to put my parents' time and all that stuff in. So after that, we went back to him again. It was, or the same service. It's called Capabilities. So it was the same service, the company that helped me get the driver's license. And I forgot to mention that they also helped me with maneuverability as well, which you had to do maneuverability, written test, and a driving test. Those are like the free things you had to do to pass the test. So yeah. So the problem is we did a little highway work, and obviously my job didn't really require a highway, so I basically almost all the progress that I made, while I was getting my license and all that stuff, practicing maneuverability, all that progress that I made on the highway just vanished. So I had to come up with another reason, and I was trying to get a job in Columbus for a media position, and that was the reason why, and I still have that today. So yeah, I actually have an appointment the Friday that I'm recording this. So I'm recording this on a Wednesday, but that Friday morning I will have an appointment with my driving instructor. So yeah, so basically what we've been doing right now is we've practiced the highway stuff in busy Columbus. Like, I feel comfortable with I-270. I don't know if you're all familiar with that, I-270. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's one road. It's either 71 or I-270 that goes from like Ohio to California. So it's like a very long road. I don't necessarily, I know it was one of those two routes, state routes, that does that. But yeah, one of those routes takes you all the way to California, I believe. So yeah, I mean, it's, some of these roads are going to be awesome to drive in, and they had a lot of traffic too. There's busy traffic areas. I mean, some of the Columbus suburbs are crazy. There's lots of restaurants, lots of people, way busier than my small town of Marysville, Ohio, though it is growing. It's a growing town, but it definitely is much bigger in size. There's more traffic. And then there's downtown Columbus, Ohio. There's a lot of stuff going on around there. Driving in a downtown city is way different. There are so many different exits. There's lots of traffic. It's a lot of very fast, quick thinking and multitasking and all that stuff. And we're trying to get that fixed now. And hopefully someday we can get it better. And I think I have improved every time I've done it. So, and this Friday I plan on doing downtown driving. And once I feel like I could do downtown driving, or my instructor feels good, I don't think there's really anything else to worry about when it comes to highway driving. And then obviously just continue to practice up on it, and then we'll be okay, because the last thing I want to do is forget how to do it, because that would be awful, just to never use all these driving situations, and it's like, oh no, I can't even remember how to get to Columbus. I can't even remember. So I'm like, oh, that is not what I want. So yeah, for sure. And I want to be able to make sure I can drive in very high stress situations, because if that's the case, and I could drive in somewhere like downtown Columbus, I feel like I could do that anywhere across the country with the GPS. And that's the other thing, is the GPS. It is so vital to get a GPS app that you can read. And let's be honest, it is super important. More important than I ever realized. It's like one of those things where it's like, the Apple Maps is so much easier to read from my phone, because I have an iPhone 13 mini. It's just the way it does. It takes you on the route, versus my instructor's app. It made it so much harder to read in the instructor's app. and then I'd miss directions, and then I'd miss exits. But when I'm on my own, because last week I went and got my haircut in Powell, Ohio, which I didn't necessarily know how to get there per se, so I put in my GPS, and I got there, no problems. I mean, literally, no problems at all. And it was so awesome. Didn't miss a single turn, no U-turns. Like, I got there just fine. It's like, okay then. It's very interesting just to kind of see the different totalities of a app. Like, something I'd have never thought about, but it made a lot of a difference to me. And I know it might not make a difference for you, but for somebody on the spectrum like me, it makes a big difference. You got to have the correct app to make sure you're on the right track, because the last thing you want to do is be lost on the road. That's no fun, especially if you're in a hurry. But again, I pride myself on not getting in a hurry ever. So yeah, I think that's one thing that I would say for that. And honestly, that's it. I would like to hear from you. If you are non-autistic, do you know somebody who's an autistic driver? And if you are an autistic driver, is Apple Maps easier for you, or is there another app? I just don't know if it matters that much, if the map apps really matter that much. I'd like to know what you feel about that. And like I said, I'm just super thankful you watched till the end. If you have any more video ideas or any way it can improve my channel, please drop it in the comment section. That'd be awesome too. And if you enjoyed this video and really enjoyed my story, and it gave you confidence to try driving, or give you another idea that autistic people can drive, please hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, and turn on your YouTube notifications so you don't miss any of my future videos. And I try to upload once a week, and the latest will be at 3 o'clock. Thank you so much, and take care. See you next time.